everyone please put your hands together for Phionna.
Woo! Ooh, just kidding. Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. Thanks for singing me happy birthday. It's not till June 3rd, but I appreciate it anyways. Thanks. So my name is Phionna, and I have 3 pieces for you guys today on this lovely heat. I'm glad I kept my shades on. But I'm going to open with a throwback piece. So as my intro said, I've been writing spoken word poetry since undergrad. And this piece is actually back from 2016. And I smiled when I found this piece. And I was like, oh, wow, like what a throwback. How nice to see how long I've been writing. But after reading it, I was quickly like, wow, I'm shaking my head because this poem is still valid. It's still true. And this was a piece I wrote as I was thinking from a Black woman perspective, but just really a woman's perspective who hopes to have children one day, that fear in the future of what type of America, what type of world am I going to be raising future children in? And so this piece, this first piece I have is called Black Attack, and I'll let it speak for itself. My black is your black, and your black is my black. So consider this a black attack. An attack for the times I have literally been defenseless but still somehow persecuted under a law that was never meant to protect me, but instead the people who have enough money to buy their freedom. To think that I, an individual without a gun, somehow threatened the life of a man with one has me all the way messed up. What type of America am I expected to raise my son in when I have to start teaching him 2 types of life lessons? Like, yes, son, you are American, but you see, the way your skin is set up, you are not American enough. You will have to work twice as hard as the white man to earn your spot, and even then your struggle doesn't stop because you will have to control yourself in his presence. Because for some God-forsaken reason, he was born with white privilege, so be audacious, but not too much, because the second you disrespect him, it's back to square one, and you are seen as disobedient. And before you can speak, your skin color will scream for you, and they will only see you as another black boy mess up. My son, I promise I will be there to tell you you are not, to tell you not to give up, to tell you to keep your head up, that I know the system is corrupt. And I will hold you as my heart silently cries, because no mother wants to see her son denied because he was born in skin that America wants him to hide. But take cover. This attack isn't over. America is no better for my future daughter. I will be the mother of a child who will endure the flames of hell and still be expected to smile and act as if all is well. She'll be starting from the lowest of lows. Lord knows being a woman alone is a disadvantage, but now she needs to manifest the courage to get through with her radiant melanin. I will have to teach her how to survive as a black woman in a society that will pry at her identity. I will have to teach her how to hold back her cries when she is lost in the confusion of rejection, contemplating is it her skin or the fact she is woman to justify why she was denied. I will have to teach her that none of those answers are right. I will have to teach her to be a fighter, but also a lover, to know when to speak up, but also when to shut up, to always be strong, but not afraid to accept weakness, to love her image, but not flaunt it, to have fun, but not become ratchet, to be independent, but also want a husband. My daughter will have to balance these 3 life lessons. So sorry, not sorry, if my attack felt more like an invasion. But I am sick and tired of living in an America where my blackness is something I'm trying to take pride in, yet fighting to survive in. Thank you. Woo. Hello. All right, thank you for that first opener. That was a nice little throwback, gave me a nice little energy boost. So this second piece I have for you is another oldie, not as old, but actually, can I sing for you a little bit? It's how I open it. So I'm not a real singer. I am a singer, but not that much of a singer. My best friend over there, though, Kiana Lee, she the real singer. Check her out. But this next piece, I used to actually call it Unwritten Blackness. But since I wrote it, I get to change it. And so since then, I've now named it Lies Sold to Me. And I wrote this piece when we were in quarantine, and we had a lot of time to think and a lot of time to look at the news and just see the oppression and physically feel it and feel that entrapment. And at the same time, I was thinking about, our history, Black history in particular, and how, a lot of it is unknowing and deceiving, and rather that we know so much more about our defeats rather than our victories as Black people. And, that paints a narrative, and it also paints a self-esteem, and it keeps us trapped mentally, too. And so I write this piece, and I share this piece with the intention of imploring our youth, all people, Black people, to really take the time and critically think, critically explore, and teach yourselves about our forgotten history. If they had to oppress us, that means they were threatened by us. And so this piece is called Lies Sold to Me. I almost forgot I had to sing. Hold up, give me a second. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Do you know how much the melanin in your skin is worth? Do you know that it is gold buried so deep in an ugly history that they're willing to kill us just so we can forget? It has a price tag on it with so many zeros hanging off that they made you believe that that zero equates to nothing. But kings and queens, hear me out. You want to know what made Hitler the most confident in pulling off of one of humanity's greatest atrocities? The man literally said, if you repeat a lie long enough, it'll eventually become the truth. Psychological deceit. You see, the lashes that our ancestors bear didn't just leave imprints on our backs. Nah, you see, it was more than just the physical beat. They didn't beat the Black out of us. They made us believe that because we are Black, we deserve to be beat. Do you see what I mean? Psychological deceit. Black king and Black queen, talk with me. They want us to carry the years of generational trauma so that we end up so fatigued in this lifetime, we find ourselves struggling so damn much day in and day out. Black people fall in line with systemic oppression like a well-oiled machine. But call us people that color because of the liveliness that our arts brings. Usually top performers, so few of us actually the owners. I say Black magic and they see savage. They treated us like savages. Like we didn't have the ability to think. It's psychological deceit. If you repeat a lie long enough, it'll eventually become the truth. Repeat. If you repeat a lie long enough, it'll eventually become the truth. Repeat. If you repeat a lie long enough, it'll eventually become the truth. Repeat, repeat, repeat. If you repeat a lie long enough, it'll eventually become the truth. Black king and Black queen, do you know your truth? Malcolm X once said, if you ever want to hide something from a Negro, put it in a book. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. And before I'll slave. I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Thank you. Woo. How are we feeling? Black power. Woo. Anyways, so to close you guys out, I have a more recent one. This one is like one of my favorites that I've like recently written. I wrote it like talking to, ooh, how you doing, baby? I don't like bees. I wrote this one while I was in bed and like having one of those like internal conversations with myself. But this last piece is called Postmaster. And when I was writing it, I was coming from a place of having conversation with white people and really just anyone who takes the time to label me. And because when I think of labels, how many of you get excited when you get a package and it has a label on it and it says your name, you know it's for you? You know, when I think of labels, I naturally think of the post office. And some time ago, I learned that the head of the post office is called a postmaster. And I was like, wow, how fitting for our Black history with slavery when we used to have to call the white man master. And so this piece is called Postmaster with the subtitle Post Stamp number 000, which is the official number for the color black. Why are you in such a rush to label me? It can't be because of my skin. Black, the most fashionable and universal color of clothing that would make anybody feel sexy? That can't be it. Even oranges, the most vibrant, rambunctious, and delicious thing wants to be me. In fact, the headlines should call it Orange, second place to black. You might be more familiar with fake news, as they like to refer to it as orange is the new black, but that's a little weird to me. Because if I think about it way too much, it feels like another way of trying to replace me. Another way of fulfilling their obsession with erasing me. So anyways, that can't be it. It can't be because of my skin, so do tell me, why are you in such a rush to label me? And don't do that thing. That thing where you go, huh? Don't do that, huh? Don't do that thing. Huh? What thing? What are you talking about? That thing where you deny it. You know, when you label me, I quite literally imagine you putting me in a box and you're the only one with the key. You put me in a box as soon as you commit to labeling me black, not white, therefore out of the ordinary, out of place, yet somehow my being here is extraordinary. How is it that she is doing so well for a black box? You put me in a box when you label me, and it helps you sort me out. I then become hyper alert, super critical of everything I do around you. My heart is racing, my blood pacing, my fight or flight reflexes aren't sure who's acting. I'm acting on the surface like everything is calm and steady. I already did the calculations of how much I weigh as your box. I already did the calculations of how much space I take up. I am trained. Like the Navy, lips sealed, everything around me is moving steady, yet for some reason I'm still shaking. Did the warning label not make it with me on this box? I am fragile. Please, handle me gently. My eyes are sharp as they dart across the room. I'm hyper aware of my surroundings. I'm alert, hyper alert. Remember, I told you I become hyper alert, alert the alarms, because there you go again, labeling me insane. You see, I don't like this place Because every time you label me black, I get put into this box so that you can sort me out like some broken down Barbie doll. You're trying to figure me out. You use me like a Barbie doll, fashionable, iconic, collectible, your favorite black doll. And once you're done with me, you spit me out like plastic. You now label me durable, and all of a sudden this black girl magic tricked the whole world into thinking I don't get sick, I don't get tired, I don't shed tears, I don't break down. Black girl magic tricked the whole damn world into thinking that being black is the most thought out after hat trick that Messi ditched out. I'm supposed to be tactful, talented, and tamed whenever I stepped out. Goals you claimed for me when you labeled me black. I am little. I am radical. I am trapped in a box, and you're the only one with the key. So why are you in such a rush to label me? And let's have this conversation over some tea. None of that coffee business. America runs that ish. And to be frank, it reminds me a little bit too much of me. Anybody who drinks their coffee just black is crazy. Everybody has their personal preferences. Trying to make it sweet, just enough for them to sip on. Just enough for them to be addicted, never satisfied, always monetized, delicious, sweet, extra cream. Anybody who drinks their coffee just black is scrutinized. The world assumes that just can't be. So let's start this conversation over some tea. I don't want to give you the wrong impression, but when you label me black, that doesn't fully accommodate everything that I am and who I will be. Thank you. Woo. Thank you so much. That's the end of my set. If you were intrigued, please do commit to following me on social media platforms, Instagram for one, but that is on Instagram at FYEONA. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the set. And thank you so much for having me out here. Woo! Have a good one.